Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. Thanks so much for joining me. Some people here in the chat already. What's this? I see some chat here. Someone's saying, Deb is saying the House passed the SAVE Act this morning. Did the Senate pass it already? And then someone said, pass, not sure, pass both, just got home from work. Pam, and that was Mary that said that. Pam is saying, hi, everyone. Happy Thursday, everyone. Thank you. Brenda saying, thanks so much, Hoka, for all that you do for us. Much appreciated. Thank you for joining me. What's someone saying here? Tam is saying, it's capitalism that is killing our democracy. Survival of the fittest as governing practice. Yeah, how can we get dollars out of America? How can we get money out of American democracy? It's not just the American democracy, of course, it is everywhere. It is a global scourge, yeah, a global scourge of this corporatism, yeah, this corporatism. And I mean, what times we are living in, huh? What times are we living in with this madness? And I've got my cap on today, a bit of a bad hair day today, so I'll just like throw the cap on. As you know, Thursdays are very busy for me. There's lots of this to discuss. Most of the questions are, of course, about just the unfolding saga. So, of course, there are questions about the insider trading. I don't even think it's a question. As usual, as you know, as you always hear me saying, Trump always confesses to his crimes. Yeah, he always confesses to his crimes. It's just that those that are around him are invested in his crimes as well. That is the problem. And, you know, it's the police, the cops should have just been called in years ago. I mean, in the UK, I'm going off on a tangent here, but in the UK, if the prime minister were accused of crimes, yeah, the police have to investigate. Now, are they going to immediately, cut off the prime minister and put them in prison? No. But for example, Boris Johnson, because he broke certain rules on COVID, and in fact, he actually got a fine. He actually got a fine because he had drinks and stuff and parties and whatnot. And there was an investigation. Was there a question of him going to prison? No, unlikely, because they were just dishing out fines at the time. However, the police still came and did an investigation. How thorough it was, people put a little question mark over, but there were a lot of people that basically the police basically went to the houses of, interviewed the prime minister, yeah, in 10 Downing Street and stuff like that, and other very senior officials. There just seems to be absolutely no accountability at all. And it's like we're just watching this criminal corruption enterprise just playing out, and there seems to be no accountability whatsoever. It seems to be the only accountability that Trump is prepared to listen to was when the bond market started to sell off, and that guy, I can't remember, that douchebag, apparently said that he was going to resign or something like that, and that's what made Trump turn around. So they could all resign. They could all resign. They could all depose. They could all, just basically be like, you know what, we're not working for you anymore. They could all come to him and say, Trump, it's over. But they don't, because they're invested in it and they want it. This is, we are just seeing corruption here on a scale that has never been seen before. And it is just brazen now. It's just brazen. It's just brazen. Because so many of the institutions have been compromised, haven't they? It's just absolutely bonkers. Anyway, let's see here. And how do I say that? Anzalna said the Save Act has passed with 4 Dems joining. Now, can someone let me know what is the Save Act? Is that the one where they're going to cut 880 billion from Medicaid? Is that the one? Is that the one? Can someone clarify that for me? Angela saying, what a beautiful sunny day today in the UK. Yes, it was lovely. It's been bright, folks, but it's been a little bit chilly. We've not had the not that much of a warmth. What's this? Call your senators and tell them no. Okay. So Towel Ready says, call your senators and tell them no on the Save Act. Absolutely not. But it seems like maybe it has passed. So I think it is the one that I was talking about, because we got someone here. Anzalna is saying the Save Act has passed with 4 Dems joining. Is this the case? Can anyone else verify this for me in the chat? Because if this is the case, it's just, oh dear. Oh, thank you, Ronnie Mendez, new member. So the Save Act, has it passed? Everyone, please let me know in the chat. Can we verify this? Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. Much appreciated for your kind donation. Manuela's asking me, how is your singing going on? Like, listen, guys, I love to sing. I love a bit of karaoke. In my membership, I shared videos, my Japan video at last. It took me a while to pull my fingers out, but of me singing karaoke in Japan. I even sang a song in Japanese, by Ayumi Hamasaki. It's called Beloved. It's a beautiful song. And the other day, actually, I sang some karaoke, I think before Hogelish, just to unwind. You know, this is all so intense. It's all so ridiculous. It's just so intense, and you know, of course, the emotions of it all, the discombobulation of it all, it's just so it's just too much. So sometimes I sing as a way to release energy, to release emotion as well. Brenda's saying, love the cap. Thank you. I've got quite a few caps, actually, can change the colors and everything. Layla G is saying, I'm just lost with words of how disgusted, embarrassing, humiliating it is to have a president like this. I know, it's just extraordinary. Oh gosh, what's this here? Mary's saying, is any of the states that have been hit with tornadoes going to get any help from the government? We'll have to see, because remember, he's gone after the FEMA, hasn't he? Oh my goodness, look at this. Layla's saying, so Layla G is saying, they are canceling all visas in our college here in Washington State. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. This is outrageous. Vanessa is saying, we have crooks in the White House, and let's be clear, they are in the House and the Senate. Crooks don't hold crooks accountable. Indeed. It's just, oh God. Susan from Australia, hello, thanks so much. Let's just see here. Oh, is this someone in from? Hi, saying this is Cosmic Cat Lady saying hi, Hoagie, or checking in as a Blue Dot in Missouri. Bless you. Thank you for joining us. What's this? If I knew that I could do it what I could do to stop it, I would do it in a heartbeat. Indeed. And then Mary saying yes, she did. Will 45 get his 62 military 62? What? Question, will F-45 get his 62 billion military parade? Well, it's not going to cost 62 billion, isn't it? Did you mean million? I think you probably meant million. Yes, I would imagine. But I would say he's going to get what he wants. There's no pushback, is there? Let's see. Oh, what's this? Oh, all this breaking news, folks. I will start the show. Major helicopter crash here in New York, New Jersey. Hudson River, no. Not another one. Wow. Plane landed upside down. 5 people died and were from Spain. Was this maintenance negligence? Oh my goodness. So listen, folks, we got some breaking news there. My goodness. And then Manuela is saying, I think Trump was placed from the universe to be a catalyst that the world will change and realize that the only solution for us all is unity and peace. Yeah, I think that is a very good point. I'm starting to think so too. In fact, I've actually been shown, by the planets, like what Trump's purpose is, and a lot of it is this. It's to be so egregious with the corruption, so naked with it, that it almost just disgusts everyone to the extent where people are just like, we just can't have this. I mean, he's literally tanked the international markets for himself and his friends in the international markets. And a lot of people are going to have known the move that he's doing, and for a lot of people are just like, this is outrageous. And there is talk, I hear that there is talk that apparently it is being discussed that even the euro might become the world's reserve currency. It's just being discussed, but this is how deep this stuff is getting. And then Veronica says the SAVE Act was passed in the House today, an assault against married women vote. Oh my God, that's the one, isn't it? If your name doesn't exactly match your birth certificate or something. Oh my God, that's the SAVE Act. Oh dear. Yeah, so Jill's saying no, it's the voting, right? Voting. Yes. Okay, thank you. Sharon Saipi is here. Thanks so much, Sharon Saipi. Sharing links and stuff like that. Much appreciated. Yes, thanks for that clarification, folks. Cosmic Cat Lady said it's the one saying women can't vote unless birth certificate matches IF. Well, I think and unless it matches. I don't know what IF means. Sorry, just be careful with the abbreviations. Remember, I'm in the UK, so I might not get the reference, but it's to do with the voting. So if you're your voting ticket or whatever it is, it has to match. And of course, if you're a married woman, your last name changes. It's just right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a question from Hogelish that I wasn't able to get round to, which actually was suggested by Nick Minks, and it's something I used to do in the past anyways, actually, but I thought this is a worth one asking, and this came in from Cheryl Renee. So she says, love to lighten you, Hoagie, and your marvelous mavens of mystery, because of course she was talking about the Wednesday show. Since Trump is so transactional, I was wondering if he sold those Supreme Court seats to the justices he appointed, except they've put in brackets for Amy, who unknowingly had her way paid by a close relative associate. One thing I would say is with Trump, just like what's his face said, Cancun Cruise, everything's for sale. Yeah, everything is up for sale with this guy, and it's just the tragedy. Look, we know what Trump is. Everyone knows what Trump is. For me personally, I mean, he's diabolical, but the people around him are worse. The enablers, the people, in Wall Street, the cult members, the people that just go along with this because they think they're going to benefit, the greed. And I was thinking the other day, and apparently there was this senator that when things were really going kind of tits up in the economy, that shouted at Mike Johnson and said, in the name of Jesus, I denounce you. Yeah. Did you guys see that story? And I was having a dream, and I woke up this morning and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, like, you know what, with these people, particularly with the crazy evangelicals, you need to substitute the name Jesus for money or profit. Yeah. You substitute it for money or profit. That's the true motivation. And I think he was basically saying, in the name of profit, in the name of the economy, I you know, denounce you. Of course, you know, Trump then said, hey, everyone, great time to buy. Yeah. And then they bought, his people got in the assets on the cheap, and then everyone bought and the market bounced back up. It's just, it's just disgraceful. So these SCOTUSes, were they bought? Almost certainly, but let's see. Let's just see what information comes out in the cards. What times? What times? Do any of you play Candy Crush? There's actually a tournament on right now with prize money. I'm trying to keep myself in contention, but I got some crazy ass batshit person who's clearly taken about 24 Coca-Colas and is still playing right now. It's now in the qualification stages where only the top person can qualify. So after this show, I'm going to give it my best stab at it, because this person has to sleep at some time, at some point. And if they don't sleep, then it's them and their friends playing 24 hours around the clock, and I can't beat that. So we'll have to see. I'll let you know how I get on, folks. All right, let's see. SCOTUS. Maybe. This is interesting. I don't think it's come out so much about money. I think this is more about SCOTUS in general. I'm not saying they're going to turn against Trump, but I think they might be concerned. If we look here we got the strength card. Yeah, so this is, of course, it's not only about literal physical strength. It talks about strength of character, which I find interesting, isn't it, coming up for SCOTUS when we know that it's really quite a corrupt institution. But it suggests, maybe, could it be, because when I look at this, she looks a bit like Amy Coney Barrett, to be honest. Not that, you know, she's shown some backbone. We can't completely denounce her with the other one. She's actually done a little bit. I mean, she's still kind of dreadful, but not as dreadful as those other conservatives. This is interesting. Is this to do with the women? I think this is to do with the women in SCOTUS. I think it's to do with them. And wasn't there a picture of them, all four of them together, standing in a line? And then Trump or some journalist was, you know, clearly planted there to kind of put some critique there. I think this is talking about the female side of SCOTUS. Feeling embattled, yeah, feeling embattled, but this is a shrewd card of determination. If we look here, we get stinky fish. You know, I referred to the Page of Cups as stinky fish, but it's about an unexpected message or something a little bit out of the blue, something a bit odd, something a bit off. Yeah, because you notice here this message is being delivered and there's a fish coming out of the cup. So it could be that there might be statements that come from either Duck L'Orange or his regime that may upset SCOTUS in some way, particularly the women. Yeah. If we look here, we've got the Sword of Truth has come out. And again, this can talk about truth and justice and, you know, fighting for people. But it's a very truthful card. Yeah. So there is a statement that has been made by Duck L'Orange or the administration that is maybe waking them up in some way. There's an illumination here, clarity, enlightenment, seeing things clearly. So even though the question was about whether or not they would be bought, I think this is actually something to do here with the female justices in particular being shrewd, having some kind of plan based on, I think, some of the stinky fish stuff that they've been seeing. And is there an element here to push for the truth and enlightenment? I think what they recognize is, and this is me maybe being a bit optimistic, And I think they may have realized too late, but it was pretty obvious. But let's not forget, a lot of people underestimate Trump. And you've heard me say it before, and I don't say it enough. And I always forget, particularly when I'm on my live shows, because there's so much flow, so much energy happening, and other people talking and stuff like that. I forget. But I'm going to say it here now while I remember. And I've said it before. Never underestimate Duck Larange. We know he's not classically intelligent. And, you know, I've never argued that. He's not. But I said he has reptilian cunning. And there are a lot of people around Trump who think that they can control him. Yeah, I think this is also what Wall Street was thinking as well. And then when he was doing the slash and burn on everyone, I think they realized that they can't. Trump, he is a neo-imperialist. So even though in the campaign trail he said he's going to end the wars and all this stuff, rubbish, he wants to start more conflicts, as we have seen. He sees himself as a king, but as a king of a fiefdom, he wants subjugation from everyone, yeah, because he's a malignant narcissist as well. He wants absolute and total subjugation. And I think those that invest in the Trump ideal and madness, I think they feel like they can kind of control him in a way, or their superior education or their superior funds or their superior breeding in some way. They think it holds sway over him, and it doesn't. It doesn't. He is a malignant narcissist with incredible delusions of grandeur, but he's also being enabled by a lot of other malignant narcissists that are corrupt like him. And I think this is something that is being overlooked. I think this is why so many of these kind of people of dubious character are buying into this guy, particularly the big money, because they feel like they can control him. But he's a maverick. He's very Uranian, as I've said, very, very Uranian, Mars and Uranus energy, unpredictable. And he only does what's best for him at the end of the day. And they don't seem to get it anyway. Let's just see here. So here, let's look at this one. Sherry Renee has said, love and gratitude and light to you, Hoagie. Please ask the cards if he who will not be named, which of course is Trump, is playing with tariffs to purposely tank the stock market for the benefit of his friends and Putin. He did the same thing during his first term. So the answer to that in many ways already is yes, isn't it? Because he's pretty much admitted it. But let's see what comes up in the cards to see if we can, if he's going to be doing this again, yeah, and what other methodologies of dark arts of corruption might he be engaging in. And it's all being enabled. This is the problem. We know what Duck Larange is. It's the people around him. They're worse because they know better. And I think someone was saying on iHip, I've Had It News, you know, the two ladies, they're very good, very salty. My gosh, potty mouth there, very salty. But they make a very good point, which is that he's playing from the oligarchy playbook. And those that support him now, the oligarchs that support him now, just like with Putin, they end up falling out of windows and disappearing, shall we say. And they don't realize that Trump has it in him to do that kind of stuff. You see what I mean? They underestimate him. There's something about the orange face and the wild kind of white/blonde hair that has this kind of disarming, because he's so clownish in a way. They don't realize just how wicked he is. And this is part of, you know, they think they're going to be safe in Trump's world. They think their money's going to protect them. But if he gains total power, that's it. He'll just, you know, he'll slit their throats for their money. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Pam, for your kind donation. Much appreciated. Thank you, Ronnie Mendez. I'm not sure if I read you before, but thank you so much for becoming a new member. Teresa Spriggs, thank you so much for your kind donation. Much appreciated. Foggy, thank you so much for your kind donation. And I've got another member here, Maria Rodriguez. Thank you so much for your kind donation. And I'm going to be doing some extra stuff as well for membership and stuff like that, and just giving you guys, a bit more kind of content, because there's so much to discuss. So, is Trump playing with tariffs? That was the question, wasn't it? And I pulled the cards. Now, this is interesting. Look at the cards that I got here. So if we look here, we have got the 7 of Wands, yeah? 7 of Wands. This is about fighting on the hill, yeah? Fighting on the hill, as you can see. And in many ways, I think this is how Trump actually views his administration / regime. I think he just views it as me against the world, me against them, him and his clique against the world. This is also as well the fight back, the pushback as well from other countries and stuff like that. China, of course, is going to raise claims with the World Trade Organization, etc. But you see, a man alone on a hill. So he's actually feeling in some ways quite isolated, yeah, because he's making these decisions that hurt even the millionaires and the billionaire class as well. Do you see? It's very sketchy. Many of the people that have supported him have lost a lot of money. Yeah. If we see here, we've got the 4 of Cups, which is not liking the options that are on the table. Yeah. But then there's one that comes out left field. But this is also a card about pondering decisions, making choices as well. So this could be also talking about who to tariff, etc. And again, there were mistakes. Yeah, there were mistakes. Penguins getting tariffed and albatross and all of this stupid stuff. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? Oh, wow, there's 755 of you here with me right now. Thanks so much. And then here we've got this left field card. This could also as well be talking about China. Yeah, maybe China being the exception. Are the China tariffs still there? They were there when I last checked. Are they still 125%, or has Duck L'Orange changed course since I've been with my clients today? You never know with this guy. If we look here, we have got the 5 of Cups, and you can see here is the upset. I think a lot of this is to do with people's 401ks and the people that have just basically been screwed, who aren't part of the clique, who aren't part of the club. Yeah. However, there's still 2 cups standing. So I think this is representing the losses here, but then, the market recovering a bit. If we look here, though, look at this. This is many ways Duck L'Orange waiting for his ship to come in, speculating, prospecting. I do often recall this, the card of prospecting. So he's still considering things to do with the tariffs. Of course, he's given a 90-day stay. What we also need to remember is that Duck L'Orange is running this regime like a reality TV show. Yeah. For him, it has to be good TV. It's all about the cliffhangers. Yeah. So this will be his next moves that he's planning. Yeah. For tyranny or something like that. But look at this. We do have the 6 of Swords, which is about moving to smoother waters. This is quite interesting, because this could be talking about, does he want to calm things down because of the bond market? Because let me tell you this, guys, you guys probably know this already. When you lose the bond market, that's it. You're over. A country basically goes bankrupt. That's what made us get rid of part of the things that made the UK get rid of the lettuce, yeah, Liz Truss, because her economic plans didn't go down well. And it started to affect the bond markets. And once you lose the bond markets, which are, of course, IOUs issued by the government, they are bought. And then once they are bought, that government that has issued those bonds basically pays interest. Yeah. So the government gets the money, people buy the bonds, and that money goes in effectively into the government's account. And then what has been bought, they pay an interest on that. And when that interest rate starts to get too high, then the government can no longer afford to pay back those bonds. And it is an indicator of how much confidence people have in a country of it to be able to pay back. And that was severely wobbling. And that's why Trump had to kind of U-turn with all of those extraordinary tariffs, keep the blanket 10 tariff, 10%, and then do the 125% on China, you know, to kind of look tough. But he almost completely destroyed the economy. So these people that are supporting him, you know, they really are flirting with danger. But look, this showing a desire to go to smoother water. So I think he's going to be doing some more tariff stuff, but maybe not as wild. Yeah, because of course, even the people that supported him lost, you know, billions. You know, billion. It's the whole thing is ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. Ludicrous. What's this? Da, 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 da. This is an interesting one, actually. I hadn't highlighted this one. This is coming from Nick Minks, and it says the tariff saga continues with the flip-flop between he will and he won't. What do the cards show for the US being able to produce the goods that are currently coming from abroad? I've put that's a good one. Can US replace / produce the tariffed goods. Let's see, and let's also as well see who is here. Oh my God, look at this. Look. Patrick. So Patrick Duncan has given us some confirmation here. I'm sure many of you as well on that, the voter thing. Patrick Duncan says here, passed the House, and yes, 4 Dems voted with the Republicans. And I know maybe some of you may have thought it was a bit harsh for me to say at the time, but do you remember I was talking about betrayal? I remember I said there's this theme of betrayal. With those cuts to Medicaid, yeah, which are, what is it going to be, in the ballpark of 880 billion. Remember, 10 Democrats voted with the other side for that. Yeah, remember Chuck Schumer said, oh, you know, we don't want to close down the government and stuff. Now this time it's for that, which undermines democracy. Why are Democrats voting for that? Yeah, do you see what I'm saying about the Algol, the star of treachery, where I'm using this analogy of the black Aja, or the dark friend from the Wheel of Time. Yeah, the Wheel of Time. If you've not watched that series, it's on series 3 now. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Watch it. My God, fantastic. In fact, I have to watch it in the daylight because some of it is so intense, and sometimes I can't even watch it. I'm just like, oh my God, it's too intense. But there's this concept of these traitors that are, you know, they are working for the dark side. They're called dark friends, or they are part of the black Aja. Not, of course, literally in color, skin color, nothing like that, in terms of their intention. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. How do you feel about the 4 Democrats that voted essentially to ratify another form of voter suppression? Because that's what it is, because they're saying basically, if you're a married woman and your last name is changed, and it's not the same as on your birth certificate, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to, what, millions of women are supposed to change their birth certificate to match their married name? Like, it's voter suppression. They've just knocked out millions of votes potentially. It's just astonishing. And 4 Democrats have supported that. Do you see what I mean? That's why I'm using this. That's why I'm keep talking about Algol, the star of betrayal, because it's true. This is what we're seeing. And I know that's my opinion. Some people might find that a bit strong, but how else can we articulate this? Why are they supporting this? Yeah, when the Republicans have got a razor-thin majority. What, 2? Yeah. Anyway, look at this. Ashley A says, he's openly human trafficking and nothing is done. Just oopsie, I'm worried he will start snatching children like his buddy Epstein. Bondi shielded Epstein too. And apparently now it's going to extend to American citizens can now be deported. This is some of the things that they're talking about. Do you see what's happening in front of our eyes? This authoritarianism, and 4 Democrats in the Senate have voted for this bill, yeah, on the voting. It's a disgrace. Brenda Allen, SAVE Act is restriction on voting. Absolutely. Jill is saying it's only passed the House, but it seems quite a few people, Jill, are saying that it's also passed in the Senate as well. Yeah, or is it? If someone can give the absolute clarity on it, like if it has passed or not, then please do let me know. Because remember, I live in the UK, and on Thursdays I'm with clients all day, so I don't have time to check and ratify these things. Bunny Young, if your name doesn't match your birth certificate, you can't vote. There you go. Wow. All the millionaires and billionaires are in on it, and the rest are screwed. Yeah, and that was from Darlene. It's a stitch up. It's just, my God. Pet Jeremiah saying, greetings, Soga. Thanks for coming on today. Much love. Wow. And then Anzalna, Anzalna has said, thank you, Hogarth. You pronounced my name correctly. So I struggled with it a little bit. What's this here? Veronica saying, my maiden name is only on my marriage license. I've been married 52 years. Wow. Look at this. Terry saying, SAVE Act prevents anyone whose name does not match their birth certificate from voting. Oh. Oh, my God. All right, let's see. Can the US replace the tariff goods with domestic production? We are seeing naked authoritarianism being paraded in front of our eyes, and people are voting for it. The corruption, the corruption. Imagine the backhand. Oh, God. All right. All right. Can the USA produce the goods that are tariffed but currently imported? Now, look, it takes years, folks, as you guys will know, to buy, set up factories, buy land, etc. Manufacturing, it's very expensive. Oh, actually, all right. So the question is, the tariff saga continues with the flip-flop between he will, he won't. What do the cards show for the US being able to produce the goods that are currently coming from abroad? We look here. Look, the first card that comes out is the 3 of Cups. If you think, oh, yes, celebration. Yeah. I think this is the story that's being sold. Yeah. I think this is what is being sold. I think this is the perspective that that Trump is selling. Yeah. All the companies, they're all coming in, they're all moving in. Maybe some of them are, but this is how it's being sold. So you see, it's quite euphoric, optimistic, this card. Yeah. Here, in the second position, which can often be the obstacle position, but if the first card is positive, then it's reinforcing. This is the Ace of Clubs, which is about what? Initiating new ideas, going forward with business venture, fertile new beginnings. Yeah, optimism, action, and it's like a yes card. Yeah. So I think this is what is being sold. Yeah, I think this is what is being sold. The next card says something else. In the middle, anchoring the whole reading, is the Moon card. And as we know, the Moon card, nothing is clear by moonlight. And of course, this can also talk about what? Lunacy. As you know, when I see this card, this is my card for, you know, like the cults, the lunacy of MAGA and all of this kind of stuff. But it also shows as well that there's subterfuge, there's hidden plans, or plans that people aren't fully aware of, yeah, coming up out of the dark. This is the battle between the domesticity of the dog in being obedient, doing the right thing, following rules and regulations, and the wildness of the wolf, which only obeys its nature. Anyway, that's a bit unfair to wolves, because wolves are, you know, very disciplined animals, but that's what it symbolizes. If we look here, we've got the Queen of Wands, and this is the card of collaboration, coming together, and it's entrepreneurial. So I think this is, in a sense, this is the privileged class that are already there, coming together, colluding. But look, the outcome is the Three of Swords. So ultimately, no, America is never going to be able to completely reproduce all of the tariffed goods at home. They actually said if an iPhone was produced with all the parts in America, made in America, they said each iPhone will cost about $30,000 to produce. I mean, that's just unsustainable, isn't it? It's just not going to happen. So I think it will be sold that way. Don't worry, we can do it. America can do it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying America can't, but it can't do it overnight. Factories don't just go up in one day. You need the land. The land needs to be procured. You need to, develop the equipment. Even the equipment needs to, the parts come from other places. So to make the machines that make the stuff, the procurement of those parts, you need to get the steel, everything. It costs millions, millions of dollars. And then, of course, when you do produce these things at home, sorry, 1 minute. Oh God. Sorry, that's Candy Crush there. My phone was just ringing. And even if you do produce these things domestically, of course, you have to pay the workers more, than you would have to pay, say, somewhere like, for example, Cambodia. This is why people outsource to the cheaper companies, because you can countries, because you can produce everything much cheaper. Oh my God. All right, let's see what's going on here. There's a question here as well, which I think maybe I'll leave that one for last, because that's let's look at one on the far right in France, Le Pen. So this is coming from Alexandra, and they say, hey, Huggy, do you see the far-right National Rally Party in France weathering the storm of Marine Le Pen's legal troubles? That's a good one, isn't it? Not really spoken so much about her. Seems her plans seem to be scuppered so far, but I think she would just get her protege to be there in her place. She would just be a backseat driver. That's what I suspect. And it's that young guy. Yeah, he's French, but he's got, I think, Italian background, or he's got an Italian sounding last name. She's not going to give up, of course. She's not going to give up, but let's see what the cards have to say. Le Pen. How does Le Pen plan to move forward? How does she plan to move forward? It's the energy around her. Oh, this is interesting. All right, now she was found guilty of embezzlement. Remember embezzlement, yeah? Look at the first card that's out. You see how spirit listens in and responds, yeah? Amazing. So look, this is what the situation is about. It's about money, yeah? Money, corruption, embezzlement, etc. So very clear, very, very clear. If we look here, though, we can see here the card. She gets the Nine of Wands as well, which is a card of shrewdness, determination. So she's feeling pretty beat up right now. Yeah, she's got her bandages. She's been found guilty. I think she had to pay a big fine, and she's been banned, I think, from politics or running in politics for 5 years, if I remember correctly. If I've made a mistake there, please let me know in the comments. But she's determined, yeah, she's a determined character. Yeah, she's gonna have her plans. Oh, someone's saying here, female's toast. So she's gonna have her plans. If we look here, though, yes, you know, she's struggling a bit. Yeah, she's struggling. She's feeling what? Out in the cold, quite literally. So at the moment, she's obviously having to deal with a bit of political isolation. How apt? Yeah, she's not. Apparently, allegedly, she is not allowed to run for office for 5 years. Yeah, for 5 years. So she's literally out in the cold. Yeah, she's been ostracized. However, look at her next two cards, though. She gets the Empress. And as you guys know, this is also my card for Russia. But I think this is actually talking about Marine Le Pen. Look, it's a female card, yes, and she's a mother, but she's also very powerful. This can also talk a lot about female leadership and stuff like that as well, yeah? And it is a card that is associated with abundance and stuff like that. Look, when you get the Empress come up in a personal reading, you know, it's normally quite a boon, unless it's reversed. If it's reversed, then it can mean the barren harvest. But so you see here, there is an element where she's out in the cold, but is this a comeback, or does it even empower her in some way? And then if we look here, we have got the 8 of Pentacles, which is a studious card, working hard towards a goal, executing a plan, yeah, in tangible, practical ways. So I think she's regrouping. She's out in the cold. I think she will have her protege do everything kind of like on her behalf. And maybe after the 5 years of lapse, does she perhaps run again? Maybe she goes for it to become sort of like the Queen of France in a way. Wouldn't surprise me. I think she's still quite young as a politician. I think she's in her mid to late 50s, something like that, which for a politician is young, yeah, especially if you consider the current crop. I mean, look at Duc Laurent, she's almost 80, yeah. And a lot of these people that were, you know, especially in American politics, a lot of them are very, very mature. And there is the argument as well of term limits and stuff like that. Wow, 900 of you with me now. Thank you so much. And let me just see here. Oh, Mariana, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind donation. Mwah! Big love. That's much appreciated. It all helps, folks. And of course, please don't forget as well to like and subscribe and share, because it helps the channel grow. And thank you so much as well for your questions. Let's see who else is in the chat. Trina saying, I keep hoping that I'll wake up and this is all has all been a bad dream. I know, we all want that. Almost like one of those dodgy plot lines, you know, from those 80s telenovelas. And they wake up and it's just like, oh, it was all a dream, thank goodness. But unfortunately, it's real. And the real life is more absurd than anything any of us could have made up. Anything about Scott Bassett? Openly, hey, do you mean openly gay and married with kids? Who's Scott Bassett? I don't know them, unfortunately. Sorry. I needed a bit more context on that in terms of what you wanted me to ask. Oh, here we go. Look, Girl Pirate says here, let's see. We're getting some detail here. Democrats, including Representative Henry, I almost wanted to say Cruella, but Cruella D. Laredo, supporting the measure. The legislation now heads to... right. Okay, here we go. Some clarity. The legislation now heads to the Senate, where Majority Leader John Thune, our South Dakota, has co-sponsored the bill. So it seems yet it has not passed the Senate yet. So Jill, I think Jill, you were saying that it's not passed the Senate yet. So it looks... Oh, and Jill's saying 5 dead in the helicopter. Oh, gosh. But yes, so Jill said that it hadn't passed to the Senate yet. So it seems like, it's passed the House, but it's not gone to the Senate yet. So thanks for that. Let's just leave it there at that. And of course, you guys can update me later. No. Gatekeeper says 90 million military parade. And yes, It's already in planning stages, so it's a go. Oh my God. 90 million. And you remember Doge was all about efficiency. You see that it's just bollocks. It's all a load of absolute BS. All right, I'm going to read one more question. And this is coming from Manuela. And it's about Trump, if Trump will still be around. Thank you, Hoagie, for reading on my question yesterday, and interesting the question from Nick Minks about Germany. Today, I would love to know, very simple, if Trump is still in his seat in July. Have to lay cards myself for this, and she says, and your weird Trump apocalypse just says it all. Much love. Yeah. So the word Trump apocalypse, as you guys know, is a phrase I coined years ago, you know, from the craziness that we had, you know, the first time. And this is what this is. It's Trump apocalypse. It's Ragnarok. We're just seeing the most absurd thing. So let's see, what are the prospects for Trump in July? Now, let me just pull, and then I'll add a little bit more. Bear with me. Trump's prospects for July, will he still be there? 90 million on a military parade for his birthday. Oh my God. Oh, it's just so ridiculous. Doge efficiency. Yeah. What a load of crock. Load of crock. And people lap it up. Trump ain't going nowhere. Sorry. Not with these cards. So I find it very interesting. Let's see what Algol brings. Remember, and I'll share the screen so you guys can see. But Uranus is going to be on the star Algol from the 13th, 14th, 15th. That's just pretty much exact. Yeah. This is the star of treachery and stuff like that. So even more treachery and all of that douchebaggery to come. It does deal with beheadings, assassinations, losing one's office, losing one's head. Unfortunately, Uranus is also a planet of aviation, and sadly, we hear about that crash in the Hudson River. You know, that's part of Algol's energy as well. It is a very difficult star. It's just known. It's known through the ages. Algol is a very difficult star. It's known as the demon star. It's Medusa, but it deals with all kinds of treachery. So I was thinking, but could it be when Uranus is exactly on that star, maybe Trump is forced to be exit stage left, or do they betray in favor of Trump? Yeah, which seems to be the more likely one, doesn't it? You know, he kind of like, oh, don't worry, you know, the market will come up, and then it sort of rebounded. So I think a lot of his supporters are like, phew, yeah. But that's a kind of a betrayal as well, because he should be impeached already. Like, this man should have, we all know he should have been impeached the first time, but with what he's done in the last week or so, he should have been triply impeached. Why is he still there? It's the people around him. Anyway, so the question was, will Trump still be there in July? Look what the cards have said. Four of Wands. Now, you guys know, for many of us readers, but, you know, this is the Four of Wands can deal with the White House, literally the White House, building things, reaching a milestone. Yeah, so obviously this is him celebrating his bloody birthday, isn't it? It's a positive card. It's open. So this is saying, well, yeah, it's looking like I mean, you never know. You never know what Uranus could bring. Yeah. Hopefully he brings us a pleasant shock. But from these cards on that question, I'm going to, of course, have to say what I see. Yeah. So reaching a milestone, card of the White House. Look what comes up. His next card. The star card, which means the universe has got your back, etc. But as you know, I also associate this card with who? Trump, Duck L'Orange, or the narcissist. So the narcissist is still what? In the White House in July. That's what it seems to be from here. However, there may be one or two issues. There are some legal issues. There are some legal challenges. So maybe there might be some articles of impeachment that do get raised. I certainly hope so. Yeah, I certainly hope so. But this can talk about legalities, but it also talks about accounting and money. Yeah, and we know that he's been doing dodgy things with the stock market. So, yeah, if we look here, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, and this is about the stability of the throne. This also, as well, as you know, I associate it with the electorate. So I think his base and those people that are around him kind of stay loyal because they want the money. Do you see? She's looking after that coin. He is surrounded by people that are just preoccupied with their own security. And if we look here, we get the High Priestess that comes out. Now, this is a card of machinations, secret agendas. It can even deal with spying and stuff like that. So there are, what I would say, what I suspect is this. Based on these cards, Trump will still be in the White House in July. However, there are plots. There may be plots against him that he doesn't know. Look what we have seen in the last few days, let alone weeks, let alone months. Imagine what the scenario could be like come July. So there could be, it seems to me that there are secret plans afoot. But I don't see, you see, there's no Tower card, there's no Four of Swords, there's no Death card, there's no Wheel of Fortune, which could be showing, there's a stable card here. These are two cards of stability. But there may be some kind of challenge, some kind of legal question raised. But definitely secret plans, contingency plans. So I will leave it there. So unfortunately, based on those, oops, what have I done? Oh, are you still here? I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. But based on that, sorry, I wish I could give better news on that. But those cards, it looks like that he's quite secure. Anyway, look, thank you so much. Oh, look, and here I'm getting a notification from, I've had it here, and it says Trump, blatant insider trading. Look at that. We were just talking about that. Let me just say thank you, everyone, for joining me. Rita saying FEMA is toast. And thank you, Crystal Blue, for your kind donation as well. Much, much appreciated. So you will see me next. My next video, check it out. It goes up on Saturdays, but it is my reflections. Yeah, my new reflections series, where I take a topic from the week and I reflect on it, and we look at philosophy, but also something uplifting from the world as well. So I'm going to try and find something uplifting. Yeah, and you'll be seeing that show go out on Saturday. Yeah. Oh, and here we are, just the last little bit here. Cutie Pie is saying the Save Act passed the House. It now moves to the Senate for a vote. It's an act that says proof of citizenship must be shown in person in order to vote in federal elections. So there we are. So we got all of the clarity there. Thank you so much. Susan says world needs peace. Yeah, for all. Indeed. So look out for that on Saturday, reflections, where I take something of interest in the world for our kind of like upliftment and stuff like that as well. So thank you, everyone. Please, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Big love here. Let's keep putting one foot in front of the other. Let's hope that, oh gosh, we'll have to see what happens. But 4 Democrats voting for that, when the Republicans have got a razor thin majority, that's anyway. You know my opinions. I will leave it there. All right, bye-bye for now. Big love. Cheers. Bye-bye.